New England's trusted news source, ABC6 News at noon.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Doreen Scanlon. New at noon today, a Burrillville man who police say had more than 200 guns inside his home held pending an additional hearing. Judge Patricia Sullivan ordered Andrew Chuck held until another hearing on bail conditions Friday. Another judge was set to allow his release, but prosecutors filed new information today. He was arrested last month after police say he was firing weapons on his property with some casings landing on a neighbor's lawn. Police ended up finding 211 guns, a flamethrower, and thousands of rounds of ammunition at Andrew Chuck's home. Police say he was also making ghost guns. The U.S. Attorney's Office is arguing that he remained behind bars without bail. An armed robbery at a local gas station this morning. Cranston police confirmed they were called to the 7-Eleven on Reservoir Ave this morning. Police say a man entered the store wearing a ski mask and a hoodie armed with a handgun and demanded money. He then fled the store toward the city of Providence. Police say this investigation continues. And Rhode Island Senator Sheldon Whitehouse meeting with the president's Supreme Court nominee down in D.C. today. Senator Whitehouse is part of the Senate Judiciary Committee. Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson is meeting with senators on Capitol Hill all week. Whitehouse said in a statement he was impressed by Jackson's, quote, brilliant legal mind. President Biden nominated her to replace retiring Associate Justice Stephen Breyer. Breeze Airways is making another pitch for its low fares at TF Green this morning. And if you're looking for a one-way getaway, they are adding some new options for Rhode Islanders. Casey Cantz is live in the newsroom with more on the company's big announcement this morning alongside the governor. Casey.
Yes, big it was, Doreen. Air travelers out of Rhode Island have apparently spoken. If you remember, it was just last summer, Breeze Airways started flying to 3 destinations out of TF Green, and thousands have taken advantage of the convenience and great rates, prompting Breeze to add more destinations. How about 5 new non-stops to be exact? Destinations like Savannah, Georgia, Jacksonville, Florida. And here's the big one, Los Angeles, California, just to name a few. And oh yeah, all of those at those discounted rates, less than $100 one way. Breeze CEO David Neeleman says Breeze is able to offer these flights at these prices because they are efficient. Point A to point B, no stops. That saves them money, which in turn saves you money. He says Breeze is also doubling its fleet, going from 13 aircrafts to 30, including a brand new Airbus that travelers can take advantage of on that coast-to-coast trip to L.A.
The cool thing about this airplane is, it has first-class seats in it. We have, if you can see back here, there's 36 first-class seats.
Wow. And
between $50 and $100, you can go in first class. And you've got the largest overhead bins ever. I could climb in here. But, you won't have to gate check your bag, which is cool. And also, we've got big windows and the widest aisles.
Yeah, you really can't beat it. The other 2 new destinations added, Columbus, Ohio, and Richmond, Virginia. That flight to L.A. starting at $99 one way. The other 4 destinations starting at $49, but you got to act fast to get those rates. Breeze says you need to book by March 11th. That's this coming Friday. Live in the newsroom today, Casey Cantz, ABC6 News.
Lots of options to get away, Casey. Thank you. And happening right now, convicted cult killer Robin Murphy is trying for parole again today. Murphy pled guilty to killing Karen Marsden back in 1980. She was only 17 at the time. Prosecutors say Murphy slit her throat and mutilated her body before dumping Marsden's skull into the woods in Westport. Murphy was denied parole in 2012 and again in 2017. And RIPTA is holding a virtual hearing on proposed service changes in downtown Providence. The plan is to put a new primary transit center on Doran Street, replacing Kennedy Plaza. It would consolidate RIPTA service into a single primary location. There is another virtual meeting tonight at 6 and then an in-person meeting on March 21st. The public is welcome to provide input. And turning to consumer news now, as gas prices continue to soar, could relief be on the horizon? Rhode Island Senate Republicans now proposing a suspension to the gas tax, which tacks on 35 cents a gallon. ABC6 News reporter Laura Puglisi is live with more on that. Laura?
Well, Doreen, gas prices in Rhode Island topped an all-time high overnight. That's at $4.24 a gallon. You could see at this gas station right here in Atwells, they actually took down the prices off of their main board in an effort to not scare customers away. Now, the hope is that this legislation would provide relief to Rhode Islanders. A new proposal introduced by Senate Republicans aims to eliminate the state gas tax in 2022, providing relief to Rhode Islanders struggling to pay the price at the pumps. Senator Jessica De La Cruz spearheaded the idea, which would cut out the 35-cent tax, saving Rhode Islanders over $150 million, but putting that price on the state to pay. Senator De La Cruz argues the state would see perks too.
If we can do that, bring people over the line for cheaper gas, they're likely to do some errands while they're here, pick up a coffee, maybe grab lunch. So not only does it help Rhode Islanders, but it also helps the small businesses that are located around those gas stations.
According to Senate Republicans, the proposal wouldn't take money away from infrastructure spending. The state's budget currently has a surplus of $618 million. Governor Dan McKee says while he supports the idea, it's not that simple to find the funds for it.
So there's multiple options on the table, whether it's accelerating the car tax relief, right? We're looking at tax-free holidays. We're looking at potentially gas tax strategies and other opportunities. But it's going to be based on what we have available to spend. And we need to make sure that we do everything we can to contain that cost of the gasoline at the pump. That's a very difficult thing for families to deal with right now.
The bill was introduced mid-February. It is still being reviewed by the General Assembly. If it moves forward, it'll go to the Senate, then to the House, and then finally to the governor's desk. Of course, we'll keep you updated. Live in Providence, I'm Laura Puglisi, ABC 6 News.
All right, Laura, thank you. And in Massachusetts, Secretary of the Commonwealth Bill Galvin is concerned about price gouging. He says Attorney General Maura Healey should investigate the quick rise in prices at the pump. He says the crisis in Ukraine shouldn't be having this much impact since gas being sold now was bought months ago. Galvin has also noticed prices varying significantly from one station to another red flag.
The government needs to investigate right now. They have to be on notice that their books and records are going to be examined, which we have the right to do. I think the government's failing its people if we're not going to investigate this. If you let the marketplace be the wild, wild west, the prices are going to continue to go up and up.
As for the gas tax in Massachusetts, Republican candidate for governor Chris Doughty wants to see it suspended. The gas tax is 24 cents in the Bay State. Well, bright and sunny, but very breezy day out there as we take a live look over Providence. A beautiful day with our sky cam. Chelsea has your first forecast.
All we need is one day with perfect sunshine and 60-degree weather because yesterday we hit the 60s, but that of course came with a ton of cloud coverage and eventually rain that moved into the area. It was kind of misty and drizzly a lot of the afternoon yesterday, and then overnight we had the heavy rain and the gusty winds. Now today we have the full sunshine, but it's significantly cooler. Temperatures are in the mid-40s right now, which is way below where we were yesterday at this time. And on top of that, it's still very windy. We have winds sustained over 20 miles per hour, which makes us feel more like the mid-30s. So a beautiful sunshine-filled day, definitely a cool day. Those wind gusts coming in out of the northwest, keeping us on the cool side of things through the afternoon. The wind gusts currently still over 30 miles per hour in many locations. Now, as the day goes on, I am expecting this breeze to slowly back down, but for the moment, it is still quite windy outside. We see clear conditions across southern New England this afternoon. You're going to continue to see sunshine as the day progresses, and into the early evening hours, we're still clear. Now, temperatures will drop overnight. We see clouds increasing by tomorrow morning, and we go from a perfectly sunny day to the risk of rain and accumulating snow in the forecast for tomorrow. Now, looks like most of the pavement should stay just wet, but I do have some accumulation expected. I'll have much more in just a few minutes. Doreen?
Chelsea, thank you. And still to come here on the news at noon, it's becoming a crowded race for Bristol County Sheriff, the latest high-profile candidate to announce a bid. Well, it's an update on the crisis in Ukraine, the message the president sent after banning Russian oil imports this morning. ABC6 News at noon back now with political news. And former Somerset Police Chief George McNeil is jumping into the race for Bristol County Sheriff. That creates a three-way race with Attleboro Mayor Paul Heroux and incumbent Tom Hodgson. McNeil says he is focused on getting proper training and counseling for detainees so they better themselves once released. The Somerset Select Board elected not to renew McNeil's contract last April. Fall River Mayor Paul Coogan delivers his State of the City address tonight. That's at 5:30 from City Hall. The mayor's office says he'll announce where additional federal coronavirus relief funds will go. Also a potential topic, the Fall River Herald News reports that the mayor wants to run a special election to get voters' opinions on a new Diamond Vocational High School proposal. The City Council does not. Later today, a wake will be held for State Trooper Tamar Bucci. Her wake will be held from 4 until 7 at St. Anthony's Church in Revere. The funeral mass for Bucci will be tomorrow at 11 a.m., also at St. Anthony's. The 34-year-old died when her cruiser was struck by a tanker truck on 93 North in Stoneham. And now to the crisis in Ukraine. Just a short time ago, President Joe Biden announcing the U.S. will ban Russian oil imports as part of the effort to further isolate Vladimir Putin. This as there is a temporary ceasefire in Ukraine to allow civilians to safely escape, and it does appear to be holding at this point. Meantime, the Pentagon says an additional 500 American soldiers will deploy to Europe to reinforce NATO troops in Poland, Romania, and Germany. It comes amid new worries that Russia could retaliate against Poland for helping resupply Ukrainian forces. Still to come here on the news at noon, the Bryant Bulldogs getting ready for the NEC Championship game tonight. We're going to tell you one senior story that goes beyond the court. That's next. The Bryant men's basketball team plays for a chance to go to the NCAA tournament tonight. It is the NEC Championship in Smithfield against Wagner. It'll be the biggest game of the Bulldogs senior Luis Hurtado's life. But as ABC6 sports reporter Ian Steele tells us, he's been through much tougher and bigger battles off the court.
Bryant senior Luis Hurtado is from Venezuela. Coming to America to play college basketball is a journey enough. The unsung hero for the Bulldogs has been through a much more difficult journey than that. The 24-year-old is a testicular cancer survivor.
It was definitely a scary thing to listen when you are my age. Definitely difficult moments of my life, but I got through it and I fought.
Diagnosed in 2019, thousands of dollars raised for hospital expenses.
It's been a wild ride, and I've just been blessed to have the right people and my family.
After months of treatment, Hurtado announced he was done and in the clear, returning to the court at his old school, Alabama Birmingham.
For you to return to the court, your selflessness, Luis, you know all the days that were tough, right?
Saying at the end of his remission post, quote, "I can't wait to see what my new chapter holds, but I know it's going to be great." An example of the positive mindset and perspective he carries in his life and on the court.
You know, I can overcome everything now.
And through everything that Luis Hurtado has gone through, he brings a calming presence to this highly energetic, chip on their shoulder Bryant basketball team.
The odds were he wouldn't be playing basketball right now. Most young men don't go through what he's gone through. And you would never know he's been through it because the way he carries himself. He's grateful, he's humble, he always has a smile on his face.
It's a miracle Hurtado has built the strength to be the presence he is in basketball. In the tough moments, he's been there for Bryant, a key in the Bulldogs' one-point win in the semifinals through so much, playing a kid's game with a chance to play on the biggest stage. In Smithfield, I'm Ian Steele, ABC6 Sports.
And now, your ABC6 Stormtracker weather with meteorologist Chelsea Priest.
It's a really pretty day across southern New England. We're seeing plenty of sunshine outside, but it is still quite windy outside, and it's definitely much cooler today compared to where we were yesterday at this time. We're currently sitting in the mid-40s. That is very typical for this time of year. Our average high is about 45 degrees, so we're right on target with seasonable temperatures. But we were in the 60s yesterday, and we were in the 60s on Sunday. So we had two very warm days in southern New England. So when we look at the 40s outside right now, when you feel the 40s outside right now, it's significantly cooler, anywhere from about 10 to 15 degrees cooler at the moment. Those wind gusts aren't helping either. Coming in sustained out of the northwest, 10 to 20 miles per hour, and there's some gusts still coming in over 30 miles per hour. Now the winds will be backing down as we head through the afternoon, but at the moment, for your lunch break, if you're out running some early afternoon errands, we're looking at very windy conditions continuing in place. That does, of course, make us feel a bit cooler. Wind chills in the mid-30s in most locations, feeling more like the upper 20s in Smithfield right now. So the wind certainly making it feel much cooler than the already cooler temperatures. Now the good news is we do have plenty of sunshine outside today. We had the heavy rain overnight. We had some thunderstorm activity overnight and very gusty winds. So we still have the wind gusts lingering out there, but overall, again, the winds will be backing down as the day goes on. Full sunshine expected for the remainder of the afternoon and mainly clear conditions as we head through the evening hours. So quieting down as the day goes on. That being said, enjoy the sun while we have it, because tomorrow we actually have some accumulating snow in the forecast. Now this time of year, the sun angle is much stronger. We have all of that sunshine outside today, warming up the pavement. We've had a few warm days here in southern New England. So as this snow starts to move in over the course of the day tomorrow, you'll see it moving in shortly after the morning commute, and it's likely going to be mixing in with some really cold rain and some sleet at times. That continues through the afternoon and early evening. I do think for the most part, we are looking at wet pavement, but on grassy surfaces, on cold surfaces, some minor accumulation expected, an inch or two on those surfaces. And of course, whenever you're driving and there's precipitation falling, even in the summertime when it's raining, you want to take it easy. So during the daytime tomorrow, we're going to be watching out for snow, for rain, for sleet. Looks like a wintry mix kind of day. Now, the good news is anything that does accumulate goes away very quickly. By Thursday, we may wake up with some slick spots out there, but we see full sunshine on Thursday, and temperatures will be around 50 degrees, so everything melts. Mid-40s outside today, gusty winds continuing, although the winds will be backing down through the afternoon. We're partly clear overnight. By early tomorrow morning, though, those clouds thicken up, and we're overcast to start the day with a wet snow and cold rain mixing in over the course of the daytime tomorrow. Into tomorrow evening and overnight, things do start to wind down. We're talking about an inch or two, and again, I do think the pavement for the most part is staying mainly wet, but we are looking at some accumulation on grassy surfaces and cold surfaces. So just kind of go with a coating to 2 inches in most locations across the area tomorrow. 7-day forecast shows temperatures around 40 degrees. So we do get that mixing taking place. Overnight as we clear out, we dip down to about freezing. So we'll have to watch for some icy spots to start the day on Thursday. And then from there, again, everything melts around 50 on Friday. Some heavy rain and gusty winds Saturday as we spring forward on Sunday. Doreen?
All right, Chels, thanks. Pick of the Litter is next at noon. Looking for a hiking buddy? Today, meet Don, a 2-year-old dog who loves playtime and a good walk.
Pick of the Litter, brought to you by Moriarty's Invisible Fence.
Welcome back. It's Tuesday. That means it's time for a pick of the litter. And you guys have brought a really sweet guy here today. He does have a whole bunch of energy, but he's adorable.
Yeah, we brought Don. He is a 2-year-old mixed breed, Heinz 57. We think he's probably got some husky in him because he has that one eye that's blue and one eye that's brown thing going on.
That icy blue eye. It's so pretty.
He is a sweet guy, but he is full of energy.
Yes.
He's 2 years old. He's got all the puppy in him. We need someone who has the time to throw a tennis ball to him until their arm falls off. He's that kind of dog.
Right.
We think he's dog friendly. We think he's going to be good in just about any setting, but because he's still in that puppy jumping stage and he's close to 60 pounds,
Sure.
he's not a great fit for a family with small kids unless they're really solid and ready to handle.
A solid 2-year-old. Yeah, no, we don't want little kids.
We don't want any little kids. So we're looking for
little
teenagers.
kids getting knocked down. Oh my gosh.
We're looking for, you know, a dog savvy family who's had some experience training puppies and bringing them up. But he's got a great temperament. He's really fun. He's a southern dog. We brought him in from the because the dogs that we take are surrenders, so they're always someone else's problems before we pass them out. So
they'll be coming up, and
yeah, they will be coming up. But at the moment, he's available. But he's full of energy.
Right. So somebody that likes to go on hikes or something like that to get outside and get out some of that energy, right?
Absolutely perfect. He's
all right.
Perfect in the car. He's
so
a fun guy, and he is handsome.
All right. Well, we need to find Don a good home. You can contact the RISPCA at 401-438-8150 for more information. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Well, March 8th is International Women's Day, and to celebrate in Pawtucket, this event at City Hall, a panel of female community members who've worked in the health industry along with 3 high school student leaders. They're also honoring first responders who helped the city through the pandemic. There are several other events planned to mark the day, including one tonight at City Hall. I'm also attending a roundtable discussion tonight as well for International Women's Day.
I love it.
Yes.
Seems like there's a lot going on for it. That's great.
Absolutely. Celebrate the equality.
I love it. We are looking at a sunshine-filled day today, but tomorrow's a different story. We do have temperatures that'll dip into the upper 20s overnight. Tomorrow we have cold rain, wet snow, really throughout much of the daytime. I will say the pavement is going to be very warm, so a lot of the pavement should stay just wet, but on grassy surfaces, an inch or two. will accumulate after we had 60s yesterday. It'll be gone Thursday, though. We'll be back to temperatures in the 50s.
One less reminder
Yeah,
that it's not all the way spring
know.
just yet. All right, Chelsea, thank you. And thank you for joining us for the news at noon. The news continues first at 4. Have a great afternoon, everybody.